Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a card reading for your next week. What's going to happen next week? What do you need to focus on? Things like that. So if we come up against any kind of negative energies or tough energies, I don't think anything is really negative, but stick with me because we're going to talk about advice for that, how to get through it, that kind of thing, if those things come up. So if you are watching this when I upload it on June 6th, this is, the next week, and I will possibly talk about some astrology things that might be going on. It depends on what the cards say. Otherwise, this is a reading that is good for whenever you find it. So the way pick cards work is we have some numbers here. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. You get to pick the pile that resonates with you. You get to engage your intuition so that I can engage my intuition and then read those cards for you. I'm going to pop some crystals onto this, so if you are having a hard time just picking between the numbers, we are going to have Argonite here represent pile number 1. We are going to have this Citrine represent pile number 2. And we are going to have this Mica represent pile number 3. Timestamps are down below, so you can go and pick your pile at any time. If you are having still a hard time, just go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath in, release. Now open your eyes. Which pile did you see right away? Which one is calling to you? That's your pile. So I also want to talk about just briefly that I have not uploaded for 3 weeks. So we just moved into a new place. I'm probably going to be doing a vlog about it. This was kind of unexpected. It was kind of last minute that we had to move, and I wasn't really prepared to do it. So a lot of tears, a lot of exhaustion, a lot of sweat. But you know what? It is a move that I wasn't going to make on my own. The universe had to prompt me into it. And I'm actually, now that we're here, I'm excited about it. So, but my lighting is different. Where I'm at is different. So that will be tweaking. If you think we need more lights, different lights, whatever. If you have an opinion on that, please comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback on that because I will be adjusting things as I go. And so far, I just do it for how I like it, not necessarily what is best for you. So give me your opinion and I'll take that into consideration. So thank you so much for listening to that little rant, if you did. And I will meet you at your pile. Hello, group 1. If you picked the Argonite, you are in the right place. So the way I normally do these weekly ones is I have a card that represents the overall energy of the week. We have some tarot cards and then some advice cards or just a little bit oracle cards that give us a little bit more information. So overall energy for our week. These are spirit animal cards. And Snake Spirit got pulled. This is time to heal. Snakes, I think, get a bad rap. So if you see the snake and you're like, oh no, I didn't want the Snake Spirit this week. It's actually a very beautiful energy. And I mean, if you're not getting that from time to heal, hopefully you'll get that from my explanation here. Think of it as shedding like an old skin and stepping into a new energy, stepping into something new, like shiny and brand new. This is shedding your past. A lot of self-care and self-acceptance here. And it's just really a time for you to let go of something that maybe is holding you back. Maybe that's been on your mind. And really take an inner look at you and what you can do to repair and renew you. The snakes, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen like a shedded snake skin. It's actually really cool, like that it comes off inside out. And it almost is like when you make a change, things get turned upside down, they get turned inside out. I also feel like, and it isn't necessarily addressed in this oracle deck, but snakes, you know, through a lot of our stories, through the Bible, talk about knowledge. And sometimes that knowledge, you know, it's represented in the Bible in the story, of Adam and Eve. That's not really the most positive rendition. However, when you think about Adam and Eve, the story itself is very much about self-awareness and kind of coming into like a new consciousness, almost leveling up, really. I mean, they're very unaware of their surroundings. They're really unaware of what's going on around them, really unaware of anybody other than themselves until they meet the snake and they get some, you know, new knowledge. They get like they're upgraded in consciousness. They really are. So to think about that of upgrades, really leveling up. So then we've got, I'll just get all these cards out and then we will read them all together. But 2 of Cups reversed. And we've got the 7 of Pentacles upright. Ace of Wands reversed. And Hangman reversed. I love the Hangman reverse. Just stop this for a second because I'll just show you what it looks like upright. I mean, this is the way that it's normally is, and it kind of almost looks bizarre if somebody is hanging upside down. So it's funny when we get the Hangman reverse, it almost looks like the way that it should be, right? Okay, so I mentioned in the beginning that I might be throwing some astrology into this as what is going on right now. And going forward, like if you're not watching this the week that I release it, that's okay. I still think that it's pretty valuable. But right now we are in the middle of Mercury retrograde. Now I think that's valuable because it seems like Mercury is always retrograde. It is about very much kind of about the self, a little bit introspection. It is, you know, communications with other people, which is kind of like this 2 of Cups reverse, can get messed up, mixed up. Electronics seem to go haywire. Just things aren't running smoothly. Things can be stagnant, which is what I'm seeing here as well. And Ace of Wands reversed, things can get delayed. So, but it's done for a purpose because it's like us reflecting. And the 7 of Pentacles it typically doesn't necessarily mean this. However, you know, he is standing here looking at the work that he's done and kind of like reflecting on it, but he's kind of looking backwards. So I think Mercury retrograde, or at least that energy, is really important to you this week. I think that there's going to be, or maybe feel some stagnation. I think with the Hangman reverse, you may have been stalled or be in this reflective mode for a while. Even though I'm saying, you know, this week is kind of like a lot of self-reflection, a lot of looking at yourself and caring for yourself. I think that by the end of the week, the Hangman reverse also is, you can see that he's like getting ready to almost like step off of this and start moving forward. So that's what I see overall here. And let's talk about each of these cards individually. So 2 of Cups reversed. 2 of Cups often talks about relationships and partnerships. When it is reversed, those kinds of things can have some issues. We can have some disharmony. Mercury retrograde. So just be gentle and careful with the people around you. Self-care wise, They may not be as gentle and careful with you as you are with them because you have this awareness here. I'm giving you some knowledge about what is going on. So don't take things too personally. There may be some disharmony. There may be some distrust with the people around you that you really didn't think was there before. But it also talks about, I mean, relationships could be breaking up. If you hadn't had that thought before coming into this reading, that message is not for you. That is for somebody else who's been thinking about it. And this is your sign like, hey, you know, maybe it is time, well, certainly time to think about yourself and think about maybe your role in this relationship and if it's still serving you. Because this is all about, when it's in reverse, self-love, all about you. I also love how, I'll turn it upright so you can see this. These are actually snake bodies here. In the traditional Rider-Waite, I mean, it doesn't have the lion's head. I think you can see the full snake. So I love that that is also represented here. I love how the cards are reflecting on themselves. And, you know, it's because it's time for you to reflect on yourself. The Seven of Pentacles, very much reflecting on what you've done, reflecting on your work. If this is talking about a relationship, it could be that, you know, you're very hesitant to step away from that relationship because of all the work that you've put into it. I want to say that with this Ace of Wands in reverse, aces are about new beginnings. It's in reverse though. Even so, and where I'm going with that is the work that you've put into it is not lost. Like, even if you walk away from a relationship, a situation, something that's not right for you, after you've reflected on this and felt that, what you have done, the work you've put in, you are not starting over, you're starting from experience. So don't let just that hold you back. Seven of Pentacles is very much a reflection of what is going on here in the past. He's even looking backwards. I feel like he's looking at the Two of Cups here in this reading. And, you know, that is definitely a time for pause here to look at that. And I feel like once you do some of this work here on yourself, once you look at your situation, once you tap in with your feelings, show yourself some self-love, and look at whatever it is that you need to heal, I think you're going to have some inspiration here. The Ace of Wands at its heart is new inspiration. Are you going to actually move on that? Is it going to be fast moving this week? No. If it was upright, I'd say, yeah, definitely. I think that Mercury retrograde is slowing it down. I think it's being slowed down. Like, you're totally being asked this whole week to slow down, even though you may have been coming into this week slowed down, and it's just a little bit more self-work. However, there are like these flowers are almost like bubbling up to the surface. So expect that. Don't block yourself from ideas because you may think that you're not worthy. You're absolutely worthy of these new ideas. You may not know how to exactly implement it yet. But you might start feeling like this desire to go out and do something, whatever that is. Wands talks about, you know, Wands is fire energy, and it's very fast moving. Again, it's reversed. I don't think we're moving fast here, but I do feel like there is like this slow burning desire coming on. It is being held back a tiny bit because of Mercury retrograde, and also because I don't think coming into this week you really know what to do with this. I don't think you really know what direction to go with it or really how to get started. So things are being slowed down for you so you can think about that. I hinted at this with the Hangman in reverse, that he's almost getting ready to step out here and to move on. And I feel like this is coming in at the end of the week, and realize what is holding you back is yourself. You are holding yourself up. You're holding yourself back. It's not necessarily a bad thing when you need to just take a moment to repair and renew and give yourself some self-care. However, you delays, you've been feeling some delays. You may have been feeling some indecisions here with this Ace of Wands as well. But even though something is getting blocked right now, it's not going to be getting blocked forever. And while you're in this self-care phase, it's really important for you to think about what is important to you and how that fits in to how you want to move forward, and to do it in the most efficient or effective way for yourself. Which I also think relates back to the snake spirit, because they are very efficient. They don't have legs. They move where they need to move. They go where they need to go. A lot of times they're just basking in the sun because that's what they need at the moment. And right now, that's what you need, is to bask in the sun. So our final two cards that we have here is She Who Doubts, Enid, Fear, Wariness, Trust, and She Who Is Present, Therese, Now, Awareness, Acceptance. So I feel like that, looking back is holding you back. And even Enid is kind of over here looking back. And Therese is kind of like the answer to that. It's kind of like, accept what's happened, accept it, move on. We've got to let it go. We are going to step forward. But we're going to do that by being present. And being present is very much about self-care too. It's, what are you doing today? What are you doing for yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? And then where do you want to go next? We really can't take, a lot of times when we think about the future, we're not really doing anything about the future. We think we are, but it's kind of like a worry about it. And it's interesting that when we are present and we're not worried about the future, the future turns out better that way. So, what is holding you back? It's really kind of looking here into what is best for you, what resonates with you, where you want to go. And it just understands that you kind of got to do this self-work before the universe is going to allow you to move on. And you kind of need to be present and accept your past and, face it head on. One thing that's really great for being in the present, if you're having a hard time doing that, is some physical activity. Get outside, go for a walk, get your blood pumping, get flowing, get flowing, definitely. That will help you kind of clear your head and be where you need to be. I'll put these down here so you can see them. And move forward. So that's what I have for you right now, group one. I think that if you are focused on whatever is stalling you and you're letting that upset you, that's the wrong focus. You need to come back here, face your fears, assess where you are, do some self-care. Self-care is also about getting your blood flowing, physical self-care there too. And that's what is important for this week. And you will move on. You'll get out of this energy, you'll get moving, but there's a lot of things keeping you here for a reason. All right. So I hope you have a fantastic week, group one. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group two. If you picked the Citrine, you are in the right spot. So the way that I like to do these for the weekly readings, I pull one card that's the overall energy. We have some tarot cards to give us some more information, and then finish off with some oracle cards, which usually gives us some advice or more information. Let's see, overall energy for this week. We have the bat spirit. A rebirth is assured. So this bat spirit really reminds me of the hangman in tarot, just because it's, inverted bat here, and that's an inverted man or woman, depending on your tarot deck. But that was in the last reading. So in reading in group number 1. So I feel like there's still there's a connection between both of these groups. Let's talk about this rebirth. So rebirth, they're in this deck, envision a bat. They live in a cave, and then at night they come out to hunt and do their bat thing. And they're talking about the cave being like when the bat emerges from a cave, it's like a rebirth. They're being like reborn. The other really interesting thing about bats is they very much trust their senses. So I feel like your intuition, closing your eyes and checking in with your heart or your other senses are going to be really important to you this week. Whenever you have questions or challenges, things like that. Intuition, very important. Bats also, they're out in the darkness, and that's kind of where our fears are, right? Our fears are out in the darkness. So this could have a kind of like a rebirthing from those fears, or facing those fears kind of vibe. It also, though, even though your fears exist in the darkness, so do your hopes and dreams, if you think about it. So it's not that far disconnected from your hopes and dreams. Just remember, if you're going through a rough time right now, a dark time, this too shall pass, and tap into that intuition. That's going to be your guide and help you get through it. So the tarot cards that we have, 8 of Wands reversed. Let's get these all out. We have the Justice reversed, which is very interesting, especially here with this bat. Oh, I usually pull 4, but this 5th card wanted to jump out, so I took it. So we'll see what that is and how important it is. The Empress, very nice. Okay, definitely this too shall pass. Whatever negative energies or challenges that you're meeting right now, the Empress is just like a reminder that basically, you're a goddess. So you got this. And then we have the 5 of Wands. And the bonus card that you guys get is the 3 of Swords reversed. So I'm going to put this right here because it was kind of dealing with these two. So I think I said in the intro that even though this is good for any time that you come see it, I might be talking about some astrology that's going on at the moment that I'm recording this. And this really does kind of have that vibe that it is being impacted by what's going on right now, Mercury retrograde. We have delays. We definitely have that here in the 8 of Wands. Sometimes we have challenges with other people that we're just not seeing eye to eye. Things just aren't flowing the way that they should, or the way that you feel like they should. And even Justice in reverse, I feel like is being impacted by that, because you feel like things should be going one way and it's just not. You are in the darkness right now. I almost feel like you're in a transition. You know you're in a transition. You've been at one spot and maybe it's not the best spot ever. Maybe you've even asked to be removed from the situation or the spot and move on. But sometimes transitions are messy. And when I was talking about in the darkness, I mean, that's a transition for your day. You go from daylight to darkness, and things are just, it's not running as smoothly as it could. And that's really represented here in this 8 of Wands. So 8 of Wands upright is very much about, fast moving energy, being in the flow, things getting done. Reversed, we've got the opposite. We've got some delays and frustrations. You may even be resisting some change. I talked about moving, and even though I am on the other side of that and I'm super happy with where I'm at, when I was moving, I mean, there were some tears that I shed about it, even though I knew I was going to a better place. Sometimes it's hard to let go, and sometimes we just need that release. This Mercury retrograde too, and these things that are just not flowing right. I was at a restaurant the other day, and it can be like a super, super busy restaurant. They're very, very good. And it wasn't busy when I was there, but they had plenty of staff because they were, just waiting for it to get busy. And things were happening that just was not like them. People were waiting for their check, and then they couldn't find like the person who runs the cash register for somebody to pay cash. And, you know, waiters and waitresses were kind of like fumbling all over themselves. Like certain tables were getting dropped. Other tables had two waiters and or waitresses going to it, just service them. And it just like, there was so many miscommunications. And when I was watching this, I was like, oh, Mercury retrograde. And that's how I feel like what's going on right now. And sometimes you're like, what the heck? Because you're in a situation and you've handled it 100 times before, no problem, no sweat. You've been there, done that. But why is it so hard right now? It almost feels like quicksand. And I kind of feel like that's what this justice in reverse is about. Like you're feeling this, that you're not in the flow. You know you're kind of in a transition. You're going someplace that you want to go, but you're just not, it's just not clicking yet. Remember, we've got the Empress over here. I love this justice in reverse. I wanted to keep it here for a second so that we can see this bat and we can see this owl. I just am struck by how very similar they are. Like a reflection of each other, kind of. They're both out at night as well. They're both nocturnal creatures. So I find that also interesting here, and I wanted to point it out. Justice in reverse, I mean, do I really need to explain what it means? It means exactly what you think it means. It means that, you know, you feel like things aren't right. You feel like maybe karma isn't going your way. Maybe you feel like you're paying the price for a mistake that you made in the past. I love this rebirth energy though. It's like, it's kind of time to let that go. It's time to be kind to yourself. Yeah, and justice in reverse too, with this 3 of swords reversed and kind of this 5 of wands as well. I mean, you could be experiencing some negative self-talk. Just remember that you're just in the middle of a phase, and this rebirth that's going on could be bigger and better than where you were. It's been certainly true for me when I'm in transitions, and I get it. Like sometimes you do just need to sit down and cry, but that is just helping you release that old energy and moving into the new energy. Now, while I believe this is just a short period of time that we're talking about this week, that you're not going to get fully through it, that it's not going to be like, oh yeah, that's totally done. I mean, I think things are a little bit messier than that. I think the time frame is going to be a little bit longer than that. I feel like you will, though, get a handle on like this release, this understanding you're not in the flow. Maybe you need to do some self-reflection. Maybe you really need to look at things that you're thankful for, the abundance that's in your life. If you are expecting certain things to come, this Empress is telling us that it is coming to fruition. It is, you know, she is all about fertility, new ideas, new things. Like, I mean, she's literally, I mean, she's giving birth, and she's just very nurturing and very loving, and just be that with yourself too. Be nurturing and loving with yourself. Oh, and she's also about beauty and nature. So maybe you need to connect with beauty and nature to kind of like ground yourself and understand that this phase that you're going through is not permanent, and it actually is just it's just a learning experience to help move you into this Empress energy, which is about fertility and luxury and abundance. It's available to you. So I love that this is here, because I think sometimes we get into like this messiness that we don't, and even this conflict over here, and we don't understand that it's for our benefit, that it's moving us forward, that it is helping us. And I love the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is actually, I really like this card. I know a lot of people like look at conflict and shy away from it, but I also see, like, especially in this one, it's like competition and sparring. Like, it's practice. It's getting better. It's like the people around you coming in and helping you practice to get better. Even though it looks like, you know, we have some disagreements or conflict. And when you do, I hope that this reading is really about helping you understand that there are some difficulties going on, that nothing is perfect, the flow may not be perfect. So when people step up to help you, sometimes we get defensive about that, but I feel like your community is really coming together to help you into like this new energy, this rebirth energy. I feel like there's other people who want to go on this journey with you, and that even though they come and maybe confront you or they're with you, it's not necessarily a confrontation. Like, they may be asking you questions that you don't like the answers to, but it's not a negative thing. They're doing it for your benefit. It's for a positive reason, and it's here to help you grow. Your bonus card, Three of Swords reversed. So this again, I was talking about negative self-talk, but it talks about releasing pain and having like some optimism for the future, and maybe forgiving others and being gentle with yourself and being gentle with others. That, you know, when things aren't flowing right, you just need to like take a deep breath and give some forgiveness out there to yourself and to others. Just be really encompass this Empress energy, because I feel like the Empress is kind of like the underlying here that maybe you're not initially seeing. You have to tap into your intuition to really find her, that nurturing energy that's under all of this, that understands that this movement and this getting you out of the flow and like shaking you up is for your benefit and to help you move forward. And then we have She Who Hopes, Renee, Love, Hope, Relationships, and She Who Surrenders, Estefania, Chains, Bonds, and Release. So I'm going to start really with Estefania here, because it's so much kind of off of, you know, the bat here, rebirth. We need to let go of the old and step into our new, and it may be kind of messy. We may be reflecting on our past. We may be stuck in here in some way. That's where it's talking about the chains or bondage, that we're anchored here. We're holding ourselves here because we're not tapping into our intuition and seeing our abundance around us, and recognizing the people here that are stepping up to help us. It's very reflective here of this Three of Swords in reverse energy. I feel like I feel like forgiveness is a very big part of releasing things. So I'm going to go ahead and put her here. And then we've got She Who Hopes, Renee, Love, Hope, and Relationship. So I feel like letting go of your past is going to help you move forward to your future. And I love that she is like on the bridge. It's like this transition. You're in this transition phase, this night, this darkness where you are bridging one day to the next day. And even though you were comfortable over here, you're going to love it once you get where you're going. You just have to kind of like cross this bridge. I also love, I don't know if you can see it down here. She has a crown and she is a princess, and she's like looking down here at this frog. What I love about this card is it talks about, you know, kissing frogs. Okay. So, but the thing is, when we talk about princesses and princes and saving, you know, our prince coming in saving you, you don't need that. You have the power inside of you. And in fact, even in this particular story with the frog, like, she's the one who saves the prince because she transforms him. But this could be, you know, you transforming other people helping to transform you, but you have the power to move across this bridge and transform yourself. But I do love that the frog is represented here, and especially with our Five of Wands energy, I don't think you're out here all alone. You aren't an island. There are other people around you who are in this with you, who are more than happy to like bounce ideas off of you, to challenge you in ways maybe you're not comfortable with right now because you're seeing it as like an injustice that they're even asking you about things, but really it's for your benefit. It's for your, just see the positives in it, see the nurturing behind it, see the love that's coming in here with the Empress. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope you have a fantastic week. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, group 3. If you picked the Mica, you are in the right spot. So the way I like to do these is I have a card here that I pull for the overall energy of the week. We've got our tarot cards, and then we've got some more oracle cards, kind of like a further advice or more insight of what's going on. So our card, overall energy of the week, and you got a good one, Cow Spirit. The miracles are endless. So this is a week to really look at miracles. I love the sunflowers here. It really reminds me of the sun card, which is just, sunny and beautiful and bright. It also talks about like sharing with others. The more you share, the more you manifest, and it very much talks about abundance. So this is a week to really just enjoy that abundance. It's a really, really positive, really fulfilling week. And then we've got the 10 of Pentacles. Nice. And then we've got the 5 of Cups reversed. Also nice. The 4 of Swords, and we've got the 3 of Wands reversed. So this week is really just, basking in that glow, being really happy for yourself, appreciative of where you are. 10 of Pentacles is all about like actually, and even the 4 of Swords, 4 is a stability number. I was going to say, there's a lot of stability here. There's a lot of good things for you to focus on, to be happy about, spending time with family, just really enjoying your stability. This talks about wealth and financial security, family, long-term success. It's really looking at the future and just generational kind of things. It's connecting with your family. I think I said that before. And your wealth and abundance as a result of your hard work. The 5 of Cups reversed. This is it, recognizing, I feel like this whole week is just kind of like a recognizing of where you are. The 5 of Cups reversed is so much about, personal setbacks, and that you've hit some obstacles, and you don't get to be at this level of success or really to really look at and appreciate miracles if you haven't had setbacks. But when it's reversed here, it's definitely moving on from that. And I feel like the 2 cards around it is an appreciation for your obstacles. And you may have taken a wrong path somewhere, but I think that it's taught you something. You've learned something from that you've had setbacks. And this week is such a reflection on those setbacks, especially with the 4 of Swords here, because this is just a moment of pause. This is it's kind of it's not very bright card, but this is a soldier holding onto a sword. It's usually in a tomb, but it is just sitting there, and reflection. And like I said, the 4 is a number of stability, just like this 10 is. I feel like though that you may have in some way reached an impasse, like you're almost ready to set out on a new adventure here. But don't overlook this time for meditation, this time for contemplation, this time to appreciate where you are and maybe even appreciate the people around you and who helped you get there. Let's see, contemplation, definitely. Oh, also a time to reassess your priorities, because I talked about setbacks and different paths and things over here with the Five of Cups reversed. You may be, oh, it's funny. Okay, so I'm thinking, you know, graduations, things like that. So you may be at a point where you have gone through something, you've done something, you've been there, done that, you've done really well with it. Celebrate it, be happy with it, but now it's time to reassess where you're going to go next. Which brings us to the Three of Wands, but the Three of Wands reversed. So it's important that it's reversed because like you're not necessarily ready to start off on this journey yet. I'll show it to you upright. So Three of Wands is like looking out. It's still assessing, right? But it's like looking out on this journey. You have these plans. You're getting ready to step off this cliff and put those plans in motion. This is talking about like not quite ready to do that this week. You need to do this assessment. You need to look at where you are and where you want to go. You need to make some plans so that when you are ready, you can put this in place. I also feel like you may be sitting here because your plans that where you want to go or where you're thinking that you want to go are not big enough. I think that you could scale it up because in reverse it's like, hey, you can do more, you can do bigger, you can make it bigger. But right now it's just not off the ground. And I think when something is delayed, you're thinking, okay, I need to pull it back and make it smaller, but definitely, you know, put it in bite-sized steps, sure. But I think that you are just, it's not as big as it could be. I think you could do bigger with your plans. I think you can do better with your plans, especially with this. The miracles are endless. So just think about where you want to go. And, you know, sky's the limit. What do you want to manifest? You've got like these really powerful cards here. It's time to sit here and meditate on what you want to manifest. And you will be putting it into motion. I feel like it has something to do with your passions too. So you might want to ask yourself really like, because it's like a reassessment kind of thing. You know, sometimes we're like really excited about one thing and then we explore that path and we get, you know, and especially with the Five of Cups here, that we going down different paths and finding out that things aren't right for us. So we do need to do that exploration so that we know where to go in the future. And then we've got our last two cards. Mora, she who hesitates, ponder, delay, confidence. And Orchid, she who thrives, flourish, prosper, blossom. Both of these, you know, especially this one, I really love with the cow spirit. The miracles are endless. I really love it here with the Three of Wands, like just setting out. You're putting your, you know, your passions in there, flourishing and blossoming. So I feel like that, you know, she's got these butterflies. She's got the butterflies around the eye, that even though you've reached this really great spot where you're sitting here and congratulating yourself, and it's definitely deserved and you definitely need to do it. Here with the Four of Swords, I feel like this is just a new opportunity for you to really set out and blossom. It is you just, you know, stepping up in a new way, and you're almost there. You're almost ready to set out. And I say set out, almost ready to step into the spotlight here. She who hesitates. So this week is about hesitating. It's pondering. Yeah, there's a delay, but that's not a negative thing. And when you're ready to step out, you're just gonna, like Mora here, she's gonna turn to the spotlight and approach it with confidence. So it's just right there, not quite ready yet, but almost. So beautiful week, group 3. I hope you have a fantastic week. And please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you in the next reading.